we always talk about the stone skipping on the lake. Every time that touches, it's going to get weaker. Okay, so as it's bouncing down the road, a breakdown is more likely.
Cryptoslo, cryptocurrency news and investing.
More crypto gains. What's going on, guys? Bitcoin continues to bounce. Oh my gosh. Now, today I'm talking about what's going on. You know, it's a little exhausting. People are like, you haven't been putting out as much content. That's because there really hasn't been a ton to talk to. I think some big takeaways from Bitcoin going down. Number one, Bitcoin is king. Sorry, if Bitcoin goes down, the ship goes down with it, the alts go down with it. So, you know, there's really not much you can say about that. That's number one. Number two, all this farming stuff, all the yields dry up when the alts crash as Bitcoin goes down. So all this DeFi, I don't know if you've looked at the APYs, they suck. And then if you're in any type of asset pool outside of blue chips, you just get destroyed. You just get absolutely destroyed. It's just totally not worth it. So I've had a lot of people ask me how much is stable. I am still sitting on 50%. 50% of my portfolio is stables. And I'm not normally a trader. This is more about wealth preservation. As I've mentioned in my other videos, I don't think the bull run's over. But I do think we can have some further pullbacks. We really haven't seen a real pullback. You know, this business of bouncing off 30K, number one, you know, we always talk about the stone skipping on the lake. Every time that touches, it's going to get weaker. Okay, so as it's bouncing down the road, a breakdown is more likely. It just is more likely every time it touches that 30K. Now, what are my thoughts on 30K? I don't think that's a dip. That's just me personally, because people are trading the range, the 30 to 35 range. So I don't see 30K as a super mega opportunity yet. Would I deploy my stables if we hit 30K again? No. And there's several reasons behind that. Hold on a second. There we go. There's not much volume profile under 30K. That's why I think everyone thinking 30K is a great buy. Yeah, it's good for traders, but I don't want to get caught up in a trade. I want to invest. You know, that's always been my philosophy, is invest in crypto. And asset prices are high right now. You know, I've talked about this. And, you know, if you look down on the volume profile, the books are thin between 20 and 30K. I mean, Bitcoin just pretty much jumped over the 20s. It wasn't in the 20s very long. So if Bitcoin gets weak, 27's definitely on the books, but it could dip way further than that, you know. What would be my go all in price on Bitcoin? It'd probably be anything under 20. You know, that's when you start selling body parts to buy Bitcoin. You can be like the Bitcoin family and sell everything you own and buy Bitcoin. No, I'm not telling you to do that. I would never tell you to do that. Number one principle, always keep your day money separate from your crypto money. That's a big principle. You know, that's something people should review if you haven't seen that video. Actually, I'll pop that video up right there, right now. And that is keep your day money separate. Number one. So yeah, so like a lot of things are on my mind. Number one, well, we're actually like on number three. Bitcoin is king. DeFi doesn't work worth a shit when Bitcoin's going down because the alts get hammered. You know, we've seen some alts lose 75%. And number three, I'm still sitting on my stable bags, and I will not deploy those bags until I see sizable capitulation. I'm not talking about a V recovery, bounce. That's not true capitulation. I'm talking about capitulation, where people basically are disinterested in buying Bitcoin. They're just like, whatever, Bitcoin. Yeah, so I would definitely go hard anything below 20. In the 20s, I might scale in a little bit, maybe 10% of my stables. But what I have done on the side is I started reaccumulating some crypto on the side with some of my divs on my passive platforms. But, not a ton. I picked up a little ETH on the dip, not a ton though. But in general, again, if you've got to wait for a real dip, and we just haven't seen that yet, because I think this 30K thing, I think the bottom's gonna just drop on it, and it'll be a fantastic opportunity going into this, because just the way this whole thing has played out, it makes no sense. Now everyone's talking Wyckoff and all this stuff, and I'm just like, there's nothing to talk about. Everyone's like, the super secret chart in Bitcoin. There is no super secret chart in Bitcoin. Everyone is backfitting all of these TA models, and I could give you just as much bullish as I could bearish. Obviously, crypto long-term horizon, over 4 or 5 years, over a decade, I'm mega bullish. And I think in the next wave of crypto, I'll have island money. I'll have island money, and I'm looking forward to that. But for now, you just got to be careful, and you got to have a little wealth preservation on your mind, because you don't want to lose all those gains, but you also want to hedge it. You want to keep some blue chips in your bag, for the run, if this thing runs. But yeah. So I've already talked about whether or not I think we're in a bear market, and I still say no, because when you're in a bear market, it just goes down, number one. And number two, you just see that flat. You don't see these V spikes. It's just dead. It's just flatlined. So I'm going to keep my eyes open. I talked about TON token. I moved about 10K over there. Now, I didn't buy all my TON. I only bought about $2,500 worth of my USDC, and I kind of slid in at about $125 per buy, because the slippage is so horrible. But I want to hold off on that, because depends on how farming is set up on Monday. TON being the primary token, we could see, depending on how they set it up, it's either going to pump or they're going to DK the primary asset. So that's why I didn't go hard with it. Just like Harmony, I didn't have a ton of money in Harmony, but it just is slow, and it wasn't really catching the traction that you would. Oh, and other news too, there was a Polygon-matic announcement on Balancer to have Polygon rewards on Balancer and deploy on Polygon. So I thought that was pretty dope. And I definitely think there's some Balancer opportunities there if they have multi-asset pools, because that's been the one complaint. I know ETH fees are cheap now, but ETH gas always goes up. It's temporary. It's temporary. So yeah, so that's what's going on. Hold on to those coins. We'll keep looking for opportunities. Still hodling my Bitcoin though, obviously. And that's about it. So like, subscribe. As always, this is Cryptoslo. If you're not talking gains, then we're not talking.